Hey guys, welcome back to another coffee and a chat. I'm just in my car, just getting back. Turn that air down a little bit, not too much, just a little. I'm just getting back from having run an errand, and before I go in, I just wanted to take a moment to share something with you. So for those of you that are following along, you know, I'm kind of on this journey trying to figure out my identity and my identity in Christ, specifically because one of the things I'm learning is all our identities are in Christ. Do you realize that? Even if you don't believe in Jesus, even if you don't like him or don't want anything to do with him, or you consider yourself not a religious person, or what, I don't consider myself a religious person, but I definitely have a strong relationship with Jesus Christ, and I want it to be stronger. But all of our identities, whether we believe it or not, really is found in him, because when he knit us together in our mother's wombs, as it talks about in Psalm 139, he put hopes and dreams in you. He put visions, he put plans, and what his purpose for you. I don't think that any baby comes into existence with no purpose. I believe every single one of us has a purpose, and knowing what our purpose is connected to understanding who we are. And the only way that I'm understanding that I can know who I am is actually knowing my relationship with Christ even better, and my connection to him. At least that seems to be the way he's working this in me. So I had an experience the other night. I'm having stuff every day. He is talking to me and silencing all those other voices that I think at times want to drown him out, and I cannot even express to you what that's like, or what the whole experience is like, because it's pretty amazing. The Lord used, I think I already was on this journey, but then the Lord used my adopted brother Keith to share some things with me. What was that, just last week? It hasn't even been a full week. But God had him share some things with me, and that just really brought some clarity and made me go, so that's what's going on. So I'm, in all transparency, I'm sharing this quite honestly. For one point, because hopefully it will speak to somebody, where you're at and what you're going through, and make some things clear to you. But also because I'm finding that as I can share what God's doing in my life, what he speaks to me, what he shows me, what I'm learning, if I can share that with somebody else, that helps really solidify it in me. And it makes those roots go deeper in my heart. So I'm doing it for me too, okay? Just be honest with you. And there's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, the other night I was, getting ready to fall asleep, laying in bed, and I was just talking to the Lord before I drifted off. And he brought back to my mind that when I was single, how hard it was for me at night, because I was so fearful, because I was alone in the house. I had my 3 little dogs, and they were a comfort, because I knew that if somebody, was messing around the house, or there was any kind of something out of the ordinary, they'd alert me. They'd stir, they'd growl, they'd bark, they'd whine, whatever. But they would let me know something wasn't right. So there was that little bit of security, but were they going to protect me? They probably would try, but could they really have? The heaviest one was like 9 pounds. They were little guys, and they still had teeth or whatever, but it wasn't quite the same. So I was like, yeah, I remember that, and it is nice to, have somebody in the house. Then when you hear a noise, because I always hear every little noise, a lot of times you go, oh, that's probably just Marvin, or that's our grandson, or it's one of our dogs or something, you can, but when you're all alone, then it's like, oh, what was that? And so as I was laying there, our mama dog, she was in our room for the night, and God said, where is she? And I'm like, well, she's laying over there in front of the bedroom door. And he goes, does that comfort you? And I'm like, it really does, because she's big and she's protective. And if anybody were to try to come through that door to do us harm, she'd go after them. And she could probably do some damage, if she thought we were threatened. I think she probably could do some damage. And so, so yes, that comforts me. And he goes, but But still, could something get by her, or what if because sometimes she doesn't stay there in the night. She'll get up and go and lay down in her crate or whatever, or go lay in the closet. I don't know why she does that. Sometimes she wants to lay down in the closet or try to get in front of the fan if she's running, thinking it's too hot in there or whatever. She moves around. She's not always in front of the door. And so, she guards it part of the night, but not the whole night and everything, So how secure is it really? And I'm like, well, it's better than when I was alone and just had 3 little dogs. It's better than that. But yeah, it's not a sure thing. And and fear is something that I have struggled with pretty much my whole life. When I was a small child, there were some not really good people in my life, and they used fear to control me. And even as an adult, I've had different people that used fear to try and control me. And so it's an issue, and it's something I've been asking the Lord to deal with in my life. And so he said, Angie, I want you to look over there. Look at that door. There's a gap at the bottom, so something, could crawl in underneath it, some varmint or whatever. We live in the country. Well, it's not really the country anymore, but it used to be the country. But we live, we have woods here and stuff. And we had a snake in our house last summer, and we get mice in, during their different seasons. We've had birds fly in the house. Animals can get in the house. And so he's like, something could come under that door. And I'm like, yeah, it could, and stuff. And he goes, and then that door is just a hollow core. It wouldn't be hard even when it's locked, for somebody to just bust their fist right through it. That's true. It's not a very good line of defense. And he said, there's something. And I'm like, what is it you want me to know? Because I'm learning to ask him that. And so I'm like, what is it you want me to know from this? And he goes, what I want you to know from this is I'm the door to your heart. I'm the door to your life. And I'm not hollow core. I am more solid than the rock. And I don't have any gaps. And nobody can get to you without coming through me. And it was like, wow. And it's one of those things like, I know that. I've talked about that before, or had other people talk about it and preach about it and stuff. But it was just something different as I really heard the voice of Jesus speaking into my heart about this. That I can trust him, and I don't trust him. I trust him to a certain degree, but I worry that even he might, throw me under the bus or out to pasture or whatever. And it's not based on anything he's done, but it's based on the things I've been through in life that put that lie in my heart. And so it was a powerful thing the other night with him just coming and addressing that and being able to talk about it. And it's like I keep thinking every time something kind of steps up and I feel a little fearful about it, I remember Jesus is the door. Whatever it is has to come through that door. It's got to come through Jesus to get to me. Now, does that mean nothing bad ever happens? No. There are things that God allows to happen in my life. Hard things, hurtful things, painful things. But what I've also come to know is he's never allowed any of those things to happen, but that it was serving a purpose to make me stronger, to make me better. If I want to build muscles, lifting up, a 1 ounce pen, ink pen and flexing my muscles isn't going to do much. But if I am picking up weights and increasing the weight, the more that weight increases and the more that muscle will build. So, sometimes God steps it up a little bit. He makes it a little, the heat gets a little hotter or whatever. But it's always for my good. I'm never alone going through it. He always takes care of me. It doesn't destroy me. It just honestly makes me a better person. So I'm learning to not even think that I need everything perfect, good, and easy, but to embrace even the hard things that come, knowing that God's going to work through it. He's doing something in it. So it just was something that has given me great peace and something I'm working on. And I just wanted to share that with you. Now, I see Marvin sitting up on the deck, probably wondering. Now he'll know what I'm doing. But he's been gone for a little while. And so I want to go see my husband now, because he is an awesome man and awesome man of God and a gift from God. And that's the other thing. I'm learning to appreciate those gifts that the Lord's put in my life, because he loves me. All right, you have an awesome day. I'll be talking to you again real soon.